Fat Dag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, Fat Dag.
Cheers. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. That's right. I believe in you. I said that all the way at the very beginning of this podcast, and I mean it just as much today as I did back then. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the Wise Advice community, the Wise Wingman Facebook group. Man, we are just an awesome group of people focused on our goals and getting it done. Welcome to episode 236. We're slowly digging into the end of what we're going to call season 2, wrapping up into season 3. I'll start that at the new year. But as the new year approaches, there are people now that are going to start looking for inspiration. I need your help. I need your help to share this podcast. Let people know that there is a resource out there. We're episode 236. So you figure someone who starts on January 1st, every single day for 236 days at least, they can have something in their pocket reminding them every single day to get this done. Can you imagine if you had 236 days of motivation at the very start of your journey? 236 days is plenty of time to hit your goal and to do whatever it is you need to get done. So I'm asking you now to share this, let folks know. If you need to on January 1st, go all the way back to episode 1. Dig in every single morning, listen to 1, and that's it. Let it roll. Go to number 2, go to 3, go all the way up, re-listen. And if you want to stay current, on some days you can do episode 1, 236, and then on day 2, do 237. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. But I think getting every single day the little bit of inspiration, that was the whole intent with this show is I recognize that for many of us, we need this accountability. We need someone kind of walking us through this journey, holding our hand a little bit. And so certainly a weekly meeting that does that. But what I've noticed, and we're going to talk about it in the show, what I noticed is that you leave your meeting or your workshop, you leave it on fire, you leave it energized. You're like, I got this. The next day you wake up and you're like, yeah, I got this. And then slowly as the week goes on, you start losing a little bit of that focus. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my meeting's in 2 more days. And you start picking that focus up. So in the middle of your week, you have this kind of dip. And I want this show to fill that dip. And I tell you, I record the show every single day, except for the days that I don't. And so, but now what happens is with 236 episodes, there's very little reason why you can't find 1 episode a day for 236 days to get you to wherever your goals are aligned to take you. It takes you getting yourself there, and you can do it, and I'm honored to walk this journey with you. I believe in you. I absolutely 100% believe in you. You can do this. And I want to open the show with a note from Karen. Karen's joining us live on Facebook. We sang happy birthday to her before the show during the live portion of the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But here's Karen's email. It says, celebrate with me. This week, I'm turning 68 years young. Why the celebration? Well, my why was to break the family tradition. Both of my parents passed away on their respective 66th birthday. On my 65th birthday, though, Oprah came into my living room on my television and said to me, if not now, when? That started my journey this time. It truly has been a powerful force. Now, my why has evolved to continue this healthy lifestyle. There is no greater feeling than being summoned to play with your grandkids hide and seek, board games, on the rug, I thought you played board games on a dining room table. running up the hills. I want to be around for a long time and be able to watch them grow up. Thanks for celebrating with me. Mike, thanks for always being there for our country, wise wingman, and your friends. Love, Karen out of Long Island. And she ends it with, if not now, when? That's a powerful, very powerful, powerful statement. You can use that with so many things that you want to do in your goal setting. It's the analogy I've given you many times on this show. Is you can have the greatest plan, you can have the greatest coach. There are so many things that you can use as motivation. It's all out there. There are a gazillion ways to be motivated. There's a gazillion ways to do this. There is no secret. There is nothing that I've ever said in this podcast that none of you probably have never heard before, some way, shape, or fashion. So if we know all that, then if it's not now, when? What that means is, when are you going to do it? Not when are you going to plan, when are you going to take, it's when are you actually going to take the action? It's the quote I used from Andy Andrews in my favorite book, The Noticer. Andy says, there's three birds sitting on a wire. If you've heard this before, stop me. But there's three birds sitting on a wire. One of them decides to fly away. How many are left? Very often, people will answer that question with, well, if one of them decides to away, well, birds fly together. So if there's three and one decides to fly away, then now there's zero. And some people try and get tricky and go, well, wait a minute. If one decides to fly, you know what? I'm going to say just two are left. The reality is if there are three birds sitting on a wire and one of them decides to fly away, there's still three birds left. Because the act of flying away is much different than the act of deciding to fly away. To fly away, you actually have to stand up, flap your wings, and move. Take some movement. That's what you've got to do. So if not now, when? You've made the decision to do it. Now do it. That's where we're at. And Karen, you certainly have done this. Congratulations on hitting goal. Congratulations on hitting a lifetime. Congratulations on happy 68th birthday. Congratulations on breaking your family tradition. What a cool feeling that is. And how awesome is it that your grandkids are asking you to come play and you very easily can say yes. It's not even a question. And board games on the rug, you're right, that doesn't happen. Board games are meant to be around the kitchen table because as we get older, we don't want to be on the floor, but not you. You're down there crawling around on the floor, running up the hills, and you will be around for a very long time to watch them grow up. What an amazing gift you've given them. You've given that gift to yourself, but it's the gift that gives the ripple effect beyond just you. You did that. You didn't think about that. Right? You did that. So I think you answered Oprah's question when she visited you in your living room and said, if not now, when? You said now. Now, I'm going to do it now. You absolutely did do it. You continue to do it. And what I want you to do is I want you to keep an inventory. Keep an inventory of the things that you're doing now that once seemed impossible. The board games, hide and seek, running around, running up the hill. That is what you now have given yourself, and that lifelong connection with your grandchildren is what you've given. So happy birthday to you again. Thank you for always being a part of my community, being a part of my life, and being involved in everything that we do, and serving on Operation Fat Dag board as well. Karen, thank you. Congratulations. Keep up the amazing work. Next email comes in from Judy. Judy is joining us on Facebook as well, live. And it's funny, when I saw Judy's email, I actually went to the Facebook group and I saw that she was had a crazy day, not a day that any of us would ever ask for in our life. And she ended her post in Facebook with, "And now I'm going to bed." And I was like, oh no, because I knew I was going to use her email on the show this evening. And so I'm glad to see that she joined us. And she opens the email with, "Hi, Fat Dag. Yesterday, you mentioned wanting to close out the year on the topic of complacency. Please allow me to oblige. I often wonder if being in a state of complacency means a person needs a stronger why. Here is my reason for asking. Earlier this year, a fellow wingman reached out to me suggesting we hold hands together and finally get to goal. It seems that both of us have been comfortably dwelling in a state of complacency for some time now, still attending the workshop, still tracking up 2, down 3, up 1, and so on. We both know goal is out there, but we're simply curled up where we are and losing and gaining the same few pounds week after week. I wonder if taking up permanent residency in this complacency zone is due to needing a stronger or more in-depth why. When I started my current journey early 2016, I simply wanted to lose weight to feel better, to look better, and to move through life easier. My doctor suggested a 60-pound loss for me. Within 7 months, I successfully shaved off 50 pounds. I felt great. I looked great. And I could again move virtually pain-free. Some of my meds were reduced, others eliminated altogether. Hence, I had arrived. I was comfortable. I'd had enough. Losing only 50 pounds, though, falls short of the doctor's goal. It's also short of the WW goal, short of getting to the ultimate goal, the free chair of lifetime. So how does one move out of this complacency zone? Does developing a stronger why help you push through to the finish line? Or what if you're truly happy where you are, is complacency really such a bad place to live? I'm proud of my 50-pound weight loss. I'm clearly much healthier than I was before in 2016. I'm happy to have maintained that loss for 2 years now. That's maintenance. But yet, I continually feel like I'm just a hamster on a wheel. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and others on this subject. Please accept my heartfelt appreciation for all that you do for our entire Wise Wingman family. See you in Seattle in 2019. Wishing you good focus, Judy, and it's Judy A. Fountain on Connect. And Judy, thanks for joining us here live on Facebook for one. And also the coolest thing about your email is you kind of get it. I don't know if you understand it, but you certainly have said some amazing things in your email, and I want to walk through them. The first thing I got to hit is when you say losing only 50 pounds. When you use the word losing and then you use a number like 50, there's no such thing as an only. It does not belong. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of cross that out right now. So there is no only when it comes to losing 50 pounds. You did that deliberately. You did that by focus. You did that by discipline, dedication, and you got it done. So that's the cool piece. Let's celebrate that for a second. Okay, everybody, let's celebrate that for a second. 50-pound weight loss is incredible. You've maintained that for 2 years. Incredible. You've completely changed your life. Incredible. You've reduced many of your medications. You've eliminated other medications. Incredible. If you would have had those as your goal when you started, if when you first started this whole thing and your doctor said, listen, I only want you to lose 50 pounds. And if you do, and you're going to feel better, you're going to look better, you're going to move pain-free, we're going to take you off some of your medications, and we're going to take off the rest of these, you would be right now jumping up and down in joy and celebration. But that's not what happened. And so what happened is someone threw a number out there of 60. And now suddenly, because someone challenged you to lose 60, you lost 50, completely changed your life, you're unhappy. It doesn't make sense, right? So that number of 60 was thrown out arbitrarily. There was no measurement behind it. There was no data behind it. It was just a nice, easy, round number for someone to throw out there. Why didn't your doctor say 58? Why didn't she say 61? Think about that when we start mapping our weight loss progress. Very few people that I've found have set a weight loss goal to lose 3.5 pounds or 6.2 pounds. It's 5 pounds, it's 10 pounds, it's 15 pounds. No one ever says, I'd like to lose the next 13 pounds. They don't say that. You round up to 15, you round down to 10, you round up to 50, you round up to 60. We use nice whole numbers, which that alone should tell you that we're just making these numbers up. Right? We're just guessing at what these numbers should be. So celebrate the fact that you have completely changed your life. Celebrate the fact that you're off your medication. Celebrate the fact that you look good, you feel good, and you did it. That's where I want your focus to always be, on all the things that you did, not the one or two things that maybe you kind of fell a little short on. Right? So let's kind of do that. Now let's talk about this complacency thing, because it really is a real thing, but there's a couple things you need to ask yourself first is first off, who are you doing this for? You got comfortable, you had enough, you said, you fell short of your doctor's goal, short of the WW goal, short of getting to the ultimate goal, the free chair of lifetime. What truly is your goal? Is your goal to satisfy, your verbal orders from your doctor? Is your goal to satisfy a program? Is your goal to simply stop paying for a program? Or is your goal to live happy, healthy, pain-free, medication-free, feeling better, looking better? I think so many times we focus on doing this for the wrong reason. If you're not doing it for you, if you aren't the reason that you are waking up every single day to get on fire to do this for you, I want you to shift your focus there. And I think as a result, Judy, I think of what I'm going to do is I used to have 5 questions that I walk people through as to how to develop their why. The first question is what do you believe, what are your expectations from this journey? Do you believe you can do it? What's the hardest thing you've ever had to do in your life? And then, what's the other one is what's in your way? What's stopping you? So I asked those 5 questions. I think I'm going to add a 6th question to this. And that 6th question is going to be is, who are you doing this for? Who ultimately gets to determine if you're happy or not? That answer is you. And if you're happy, and then don't worry about satisfying a program. Don't worry about satisfying, a doctor's goal. Outside of having a conversation with your doctor is certainly important. But truly, if you're healthy and happy, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 pounds isn't going to make a bit of difference. So I want you to kind of focus on that. Now I get, I truly understand the program side of this, right? If you don't hit the number on the nose, then certainly you continue to pay for the meeting. I get all that. And so that's where you and your doctor have a conversation. You figure out what you need to do. Whole different conversation. And I'm not going there at the point of this email, but what I want to walk you through is that you and an accountability buddy, you teamed up. You said you want to get this done. You're still attending your workshops. You're tracking. You're up 2. You're down 2. You're up 3. Down 3. That is a great balance for sure. I'm going to throw some words out there, and we haven't had a chance to really talk outside of this. Is a one-way conversation, so I'm reading into your email a little bit, and so if I'm way off, I apologize. But generally speaking, when I see those kinds of numbers, what that tells me exactly how I open the show. You leave your meeting and you track that day. The next day you wake up, you track everything. And then slowly somewhere in the middle of your meeting week, you dip out. Maybe it's on the weekend. Maybe you track a little less on the weekend. Maybe you eat a little more on the weekend. And then because your meeting is coming up, that focus comes right back. The key to having long-term lifestyle changing success is consistency. That's it. Whatever you do on Monday, you should also do on Saturday. Whatever you do on Tuesday, you should do on Sunday. Whatever you do on Wednesday, you should do on Thursday. It's consistency through this process. And I'm trying to think of a great example. And, think about, so many things in life that just require you to just every single day do some of the same things. You just can't take a day off. Probably the best analogy I would give, and certainly I can talk to this because my wife she talks about it all the time. But she teaches reading to children, and she's an amazing reading teacher. And when the kids go away for summer break, they come back and almost always they take a step back because all summer long they didn't continue with their reading. And so the first few months of the school year, they're reteaching some of the same things they taught at the end of the previous school year, right? And now I certainly don't advocate year-round school, but that's kind of that same little bit of consistency thing is if you want to get better at something, You got to do it every day. Now Saturday could look different than Monday a little bit, but it shouldn't look so drastically different that it's a completely different plan. Saturday and Sunday should look very similar to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so whatever you're doing throughout the week, you need to do on the weekend as well. And so many people, and so what happens is it doesn't take much in this journey. 1 to 2 days of overeating and not tracking, or even if you're tracking, getting it all written down, you can completely undo 4 to 5 days of hard work. So then what happens is you bust your tail for 3, 4, 5 days. You do it. You're perfect on Monday. You're perfect on Tuesday. Perfect on Wednesday. Perfect on Friday, you're great up until dinner, and then Friday night, not so well. Saturday, Sunday, Well, then that Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday can absolutely negate an entire week. And so what happens now is now you come back into Monday, you see no change on the scale, and you go, why bother? Why would I just killed myself for 5 days only to have minus 0.2 or plus 0.2 or whatever. And so what I want you to do is I want you to treat your weekends the same as you treat your weekdays, and that goes away. And that truly is the lifestyle change that we're after. So what happens is as you're going through the weekend, your weekend is your old life, the week is your new life, and you're trying to combine two lifestyles. It's not how it works. Find a lifestyle that you can truly live with and sustain and get it done. So, keep doing everything that you're doing. And I love how you ended your email. I am proud of my 50-pound weight loss. Congratulations. You absolutely should be. Clearly, you're much healthier than you were in 2016. You maintained that loss for 2 years, which is incredible. And then when you say, but I continually feel like I'm just a hamster on a wheel. So I ask you is now, are you living? Are you truly living this lifestyle as you? If you were, then you wouldn't feel like you're just going around and around and around again. You would be living your life, enjoying your life, and you would just be living this lifestyle that gives you all of your dreams coming true. So I ask you, who are you doing this for? The answer better be you. Keep up the amazing work, Judy. Thank you for joining us live on Facebook. Thanks for all you do in the Wise Wingman Facebook community. It's truly an honor to see you in there and hang out with you in there as well. Next email up comes in from Marilyn. Marilyn writes and says, I can't believe I'm writing you, but I really want help. And you are my wingman. I know you're busy, so I'll try to be brief. I started my journey December of 2016. I had a year of intense grief, having lost both of my parents and my beloved husband within 11 months' time. I was drowning in grief and comforting myself with food. I'm a diabetic, so I knew this comfort would soon just be another source of pain, so I went to Weight Watchers and I started my journey to keep myself healthier for my health's sake. I needed the company of the meeting, and soon Weight Watchers became my happy place. My why changed from bodily survival to a way to feel successful, a place where I belonged, and that pushed back my loneliness. All of the meal planning, the point calculation, the podcast, it filled my lonely hours. I discovered Weight Watchers on YouTube, and they became my entertainment. This new world made me healthier in weight and blood sugar and blood pressure. It also was emotionally healing. I lost enough weight that I got off my diabetes meds and greatly reduced my blood pressure medication. I was walking 3 to 5 miles every day. I guess WW became my hobby. Fast forward in the last 2 years, I lost 55 pounds, getting to within 10 pounds of goal, but since July, I have struggled to stay on the program. I'm still faithfully attending workshops, buying the right foods, listening to Fat Dag and all the other WW sites for inspiration, but the click seems gone, as is the walking. I buy the good foods and I binge on junk food that I go out and buy with full realization that when I get home, I'm going to eat huge quantities of it before I come to my senses and start back on the program with the next meal. I've gained back about 12 pounds, and I'm just wondering, how can I catch the WW fire again? I'm the Marilyn from last night's chat time that asked someone to save me from myself. I know what you do, but I know what to do, but especially with all the holidays and events foods, how do I make myself do it? I know I must, because at this rate, I will be up several more pounds by the time the new year rolls in. Sorry, this was so long. If you can't answer it, I will understand, but it did help to hear you address my plea last night on the air, so please know you're helping someone every day with all that you do. Thanks for walking with me through the hardest 2 years of my life, and for believing in me and in all of us. I know I can do this if I can find my way out of this place in my journey. I don't want to quit. I want to feel that fresh excitement of a new WW member again. Is that possible? Again, thank you for your time and your service to our country, Marilyn. Marilyn, let me go all the way back to the beginning of your email. My heart breaks for you, and the 11 months time of your life, I cannot even relate. And so, in grieving the loss of both parents and your husband within an 11-month time period, completely devastating. I understand the grief that comes with that. I can't relate one-on-one, but I get how incredibly painful that has to be. And so what was awesome in this is that as you were drowning in grief and comforting yourself with food, you were able to pull yourself out of that. That's incredible power. And so you recognize that for the sake of being healthy, you had to do something. You did it. So I want to open up with my heart breaks for you, but my heart beams with pride in how you were able to recognize it and completely take control of your life. Now, you needed the company of the meeting room. I get it. You actually really just kind of needed the distraction. With everything that you had going on, you needed something else to occupy your mind. And a lot of times that's what we're after, right? As we go through this journey, we all know how to do this. And so there are things in our day that just get the better of us at times. That having a project and having something that we can rely on to distract us is kind of not a bad thing in some ways. And so you found an amazing support community in your meeting room. You found an amazing support community online, listening to the podcast. And so what that enabled you to do is enabled you to kind of mask that grief for a little bit and say, okay, I have bigger goals and I want to go out and get this done. Now that distraction now has become your norm. And so you did great. You walked all the time. You were, emotionally healing and you lost enough weight. You started feeling better. You got off your diabetes medication and reduced your blood pressure medication. You did it. An amazing story, an amazing accomplishment as you go through this, that with all that you've been through, you were able to completely take charge of your life and get it done. And so here we are in a celebration mode, fast forwarding 2 years, losing 55 pounds, 10 pounds within goal. But now you say struggling to stay on program, because here's what I think happened is that what I believe is that you had that distraction and you had this motivation of anything will be better than dealing with the grief that I have to deal with. If that means walking 3 to 5 miles a day, fine, I'll walk 3 to 5 miles a day. If that means opening my app every day, fine, I'll do that. If that means tracking everything, fine, I'll do that. Just please don't let me deal with the grief. And I get that. So this distraction was working very well for you. And then suddenly, as things in your life settle back down, this distraction is no longer motivating enough to keep you dialed in. In your words, you say you came back about 12 pounds. How do you recatch that fire? How do you make yourself do it? That's only a question you can answer, right? There's nothing that I am going to be able to say. There's nothing that I can give you that's going to boom, knock you in that, tap you on the head and say, boom, here it is. That's not how this works. So what I can offer you is certainly you really got to focus back into your why. When you first joined, when you first started, that your why was you were looking for a distraction and you found a way to get the results. Celebrate your 55-pound weight loss. Congratulations. That is not easy. You ask anyone who's done it, 55 pounds is real, legitimate hard work. You did that. Dig into what worked. Find the things that work. Your own email says it. I was walking 3 to 5 miles a day, and then later on you says the walking stopped. So think about that, right? It's as simple as lacing up the shoes and going for a walk. Now I know that's, again, sometimes not easy, but what you have to do is you have to get yourself back into that winning mindset. You have to get yourself back into, what do I know works on this journey? How can I get into that mindset that I had when I was winning and getting it done? Get into your why. Figure out why you're doing this. And this time, the why has to be a little deeper, a little big, a little more in depth than as a distraction from all of life coming at you. So ask yourself, why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? Do you believe you can do it? Think of the amazing things that you've just gone through, and you had amazing success after. You can do this. And so you have to find what excites you. When you wake up every morning, what is the purpose of waking up every morning? What do you want to accomplish first thing? What makes you energized to get up and do it? Find that. One of my favorite tips is grab a dry erase marker. Right? Go to your local store, find a dry erase marker. Every single morning, take that marker right on your bathroom mirror. The best thing that happened to you the day before. Do it. The best thing that happened the day before, the best 2 things that happened before. Every single day, open your eyes to the amazing things that have happened in your life and put them down on your bathroom mirror. Allow them to sit there for 24 hours. If you start your day off with gratitude, you start your day off looking for the right things, it doesn't take long for you to continue to see the rest of the amazing things going on in your life. Go through your day, track, continue to go for your walk. The next day, when you wake up, you read that list from the morning and you go, oh my God, that's right, 2 days ago, this happened. Erase them. Grab your marker. Write down the most amazing 2 or 3 things that happened the day before. What are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? No matter what's going on, and trust me, I know how painful this is for you, but no matter what's going on in your life, there is a flip side to that coin. There is something that is magical and wonderful in your life, and you have to seek that out. The more you start looking for that, the more you'll start appreciating it. You'll start appreciating that, and you will continue to roll and look for better and better and better things, and simply going for a walk. That first couple steps, I promise you, when you go for your next 2 to 3 mile walk, that first few steps, you're going to go, welcome back. I feel this. So for those of you who are in the middle of your journey and you're doing great, I want you to write down the things that you're doing great. Because there will come a time, maybe there could, where all of a sudden now you're not doing great. And so you forget, because what happens is you get into that mindset of when you do something every single day, it's no longer new. 2 years into it, the fact that you can, walk 3 to 5 miles isn't a big deal when you've been doing it for 2 years. But when you're 55 pounds heavier, it was absolutely a big deal. So the first year and a half, it was like, oh my goodness, I can go walk. How cool is this? And then as you did it so often, you simply forgot how exciting that was. Now that you haven't done it for a while, go back out and enjoy it. And so I want you to write down all those things that you're doing as you do them for the first time. Put them in your own little journal somewhere. And when you get stuck in here, go back and read them. Because you should be excited about it the very next time you read about it. And say, yeah, I can do this. So find the things that motivate you. Find the things that energize you and excite you. And so, and celebrate those. Celebrate the fact that you lost 55 pounds and, 10 pounds within goal. And so, certainly this is 100% my opinion. I'll share this more than once, right? Goal is a feeling. I've said that more than once. The 10-pound number is, again, it's an arbitrary number. Do you feel good? Do you look good? Are your blood levels good? Is your doctor happy? That's the celebration. So don't get hung up on, man, I lost 55 pounds, but I lost 55 pounds, but I'm not at goal. Well, you can declare that. And that comes from you declaring it mentally first. mentally appreciating everything you have, mentally celebrating all the success in your life, mentally being happy with where you are. That's where it starts. And when you solve that, you start going for a walk, you start tracking better, and suddenly all the junk food in the world doesn't compete with that feeling. And it becomes very easy to resist it and push it aside and say, you know what? I got bigger plans. I like my blood pressure the way it is. And so that's where I want you to focus. And as you do that, you may surprise yourself when you truly free your mind and when you truly get to that point where you're just loving life and you're just living happy and healthy. Your body may just say, you know what, Marilyn, I don't need these last 10 pounds, and slowly releases them. And so, but you got to get to that place mentally first. You got to get there so that your brain is happy, your body's happy, and everything else falls into suit. So Marilyn, thank you for your email. Thanks for reaching out on Facebook. And I'm glad I was able to see your comment, and I'm glad you were able to take me up on the offer to write in. The next email, last one for this episode, comes in from Marin. It says, Dear Mike, hello, my name is Marin. I have a question. Why do I self-sabotage myself when someone notices my weight loss and makes a comment on it? It makes me so uncomfortable. I just say thank you, but it bothers me so much, I just eat out of control for the rest of the day. This is the second time this has happened to me. The first time I quit WW and I gained 20 pounds back. This time I just acknowledged it, but it still bothers me. I still have about 20 pounds to lose. I know people will still make comments. How do I deal with the comments? Thank you for your service to our great country. Thank you for your podcast. Thank you for helping others, Marin. Marin, here is, you're right. People are going to notice it. When you start getting yourself in shape, people notice. That's how it's going to be. Now, I get for a lot of us, this is not a comfortable thing, right? Some of us forever, we've been invisible, we've been ignored, we've been made fun of. Whatever the scenario is, we've lived it, and it's terrible. And so now we associate in our own heads, well, sometimes we associate some of this communication as negative. And so we're not used to the limelight. We're not used to, to having people come up and talk to us because for so long they've ignored us. Now you start getting healthy, you start losing weight, people start noticing. It does make us, in some ways, makes us uncomfortable. Some people are very proud of it. Some people are not so much. And so here's where you're at. So as that happens to you, what I want you to do, how do you deal with the comments? This is a tip that I've shared a couple different times, and I think it's a good one. You have to have an auto response. You have to anticipate that those comments are going to come as you continue to lose whatever you need to get wherever you consider goal. As you continue to do that, you're going to start looking better. The comments will probably increase. I'll give you that heads up. Have an auto response to the comments. So someone comes up to you. Here's an example. Someone comes up and says, Hey, Marin, you look really good. What are you doing? Quickly say, boom, here's what I'm doing. And then change the subject. You know what? So, Marin, you look really good. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing Weight Watchers. I've completely changed my life. Hey, one of the things I was wondering is I'm getting ready to, I'm looking for some task management software or some task management. Do you know of a good book that you could recommend that helped me with task management? Have some, and I'm just making this up, right? But have an auto response that completely changes the subject. And have it in a question that is going to require them to actually stop, think, listen, think again, and then provide an answer. You will disrupt their thought pattern, and then the conversation continues about something besides you and your weight loss. That's what I want you to do. So it's kind of like the same analogy, right? When your best friend buys a house, think of this, right? Your best friend in the whole wide world, they buy a house, and then they come up to you, and it's the weekend, they're closing on the house this weekend, and they come up to you and say, Hey, Marin, what are you doing this weekend? All of us have an answer, right? Because we know if we say nothing, we're going to be invited to pack a moving truck. So when your best friend comes up and says, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" Oh, we got some plans, right? And then so you say, "Why?" Well, I need help moving. And then you can make the decision if you want to help moving or not. But you know darn well if they ask you, "What are you doing this weekend?" and you don't have a good defense, you will be invited to have to pack a moving truck. So same thing applies here. Have an auto response so that you can be prepared for that question. You know it's coming, and you say, hey, got it. And I'm trying to think of a good example on the spot, and it's going to take me a second to do it. But ask for a book recommendation. Ask for a TV show recommendation. Have your favorite TV show in mind. Say, have you lost weight? I sure have. But hey, you know what? Last night, did you watch the episode of Boom? Oh, it was so funny. It was blah, blah. Have some sort of auto response that instantly changes the subject. It puts the spotlight off of you, puts them on the defensive, and then you carry on the conversation and you move forward. So, Marin, thanks for your note. Keep up the amazing work. You clearly understand how to do this. That part is clear. So you lost 20 pounds because you said you gained 20 pounds back, which means at some point you lost it. So the program works. You have the ability to do it. Whatever you need to do to get it done is possible. That's what I want to leave you with. I want to leave you with, you've done this before. You can continue to do it. Keep up every single bit of that. Keep doing it until you get to the place where you say, you know what? I got this. I look good. I feel good. I am at goal. And at that point, you celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Go to fatdag.com. Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com. Click on the Wise Advice podcast link. Send in your comments, your questions, your emails. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. You certainly, as you email in, I will use them on the show as well. But I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. When you're proud of what you're doing, it shows. When you're proud of what you're doing and you write it down every single morning on your bathroom mirror, it enables you and wants you to keep going in that direction. You've got to celebrate every single thing. Every little thing on this journey that is new to you, you have to celebrate it like it's the most amazing accomplishment you've ever had. Because it is. Because it is. Because when you change your life, when you completely change your life, that's the most amazing gift you can give yourself. Continue to do this. Continue to work hard. Continue to change your life, because when you change your life, you inspire others and you give the gift of life to so many others as you do so. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit fatdag.com, click on Become a Patron today.